This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Rachel Fife.
Well, welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast. Now, do you have questions about your mortgage, want to refinance, or wondering if a reverse mortgage could be a really great option for you? Well, I have just the guy to answer those questions. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing your good neighbor, Clark Wilson, the old mortgage guy. Hey, Clark, how is it going?
Well, it's going fine. Thank you very much for having me, Rachel. It is my pleasure to be with you on this wonderful podcast.
Well, we are so excited to have you, and we're excited to learn about your business. So tell us all about it.
Sure. Well, I'm the old mortgage guy at oldmortgageguy.com. And of course, the email address is clark@oldmortgageguy.com. And I'm 74 years old, so I am a senior. So I specialize in reverse mortgages for seniors because I'm a senior and seniors need a lot of help. And unfortunately, Rachel, I'm sorry that they have a tremendous number of misconceptions about the current reverse mortgage that might be available to them because they remember what it was like in the before time. So in the before time, what it was it was private lenders doing reverse mortgages as soon as President Reagan signed the legislation creating the reverse mortgage. And it was private lenders, and private lenders protected their investment in people's properties. And they were kicking granny out of the house when the value of the property fell below what was owed on the reverse mortgage because they were private lenders. But then clearer heads prevailed in Washington, D.C. and said, hey, we got to do something about that, you know? So what they did was they came up with giving the reverse mortgage over to the FHA. So then it was under the auspices of the FHA, and there was no more kicking granny out of the house, okay? No more the kids got stuck with any kind of money or anything who were the heirs, you know, when someone passed away. It was a completely different reverse mortgage, and it's called a home equity conversion mortgage, okay? Because what you're doing is converting a forward mortgage into a reverse mortgage. Now, the dates on this were 1987. Congress passed the legislation to put the reverse mortgage in under the auspices of the Federal Housing Administration, FHA. And in 1989, the first FHA insured home equity conversion mortgage was given. Okay. And that started the ball rolling. And so we've had them available ever since. And the problem that I have today is that people have a mindset of what it used to be. Because when they were kicking granny out of the house, when it was private lenders, I mean, everybody saw that and was horrified by it, as well they should be. And people kind of remember that. And so when I talk to people today about a reverse mortgage, I asked one woman the other day, I said, what do you know about reverse mortgages? And she said, I just know they're bad. Well, they're not bad. Actually, they're like the best thing you could possibly get today if you're a senior. And so in my business, I got to tell you, what I do is I look at people's personal financial information. Just a little background on me. I've had my registered investment advisor's license for over 30 years, and I am the retired national training manager at Investors Business Daily newspaper, where I taught people at Goldman Sachs and Merrill Lynch and all the major wirehouses basically how to do people's portfolios in the stock market. Okay, but I retired out of that now. This is my retirement business, but I'm not making things up. When I look at somebody's personal financial information, I got over 37 years doing that. So if a reverse mortgage is right for them, I will tell them. And if it is not right for them, I will not tell them. So they don't have to worry about whether it's good or it's bad or anything else. All they got to do is let me have a look, you know. Yeah. But that is kind of the toughest thing to do because starting a conversation about a reverse mortgage, people have that thing in their head that says, oh my God, and they go crazy trying to think about how horrible it's going to be when in fact, not so horrible anymore. I have a
Okay.
woman who, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I want to keep moving on here. So, how did you get into this business?
Well, I got into it because I had an entire lifetime of asking people about their personal financial stuff, and so I wanted to get into some kind of allied business to Investors Business Daily and my registered investment advisory practice. And I guess the thing that hit me was, well, hey, I'm still asking people about their personal financial stuff. So that mortgages would probably be a good place to go. And so I've been doing it ever since 2015 when I retired out of Investors Business Daily.
Okay. Well, you kind of touched upon this, but I was asking, what do you think are maybe some myths or misconceptions in your industry? And I know you were kind of leading into that. I don't know if there's anything you want to add to that.
Well, the misconceptions are that it will, there's a misconception where it will eat up all of your equity and your property and you'll have nothing left. And that's baloney, because the first thing is they don't give you 100%. If you're going to get a reverse mortgage, the max out today is about 48%. So if you own $1 million property, you have to owe less than $500,000 on it in order to get a reverse mortgage. Well, you're never going to chew all that up in all the rest of your life unless you live to be 150. So you can't really use it all up. And then people are saying the other misconception is that people are in charge of the equity in their property themselves. And they say, I'm saving my property for my children because I will preserve, by doing so, I will preserve the equity in that property for them. And so I don't want to do a reverse mortgage, even though I could really use the money, et cetera, because I want to save it for my kids. And so when I talk to those people, I ask them what happened in 2008 and 2009 when the value of your property went down 40%. Did you do that? Were you responsible for that? No, I wasn't. Well, what was responsible for? Well, it was the real estate market. It was inflation. It was a lot of other things other than people actually controlling the equity in their property. And so what I point out to them is real simple. Look, you're not in charge of the equity in your property. The marketplace is. The market is in charge of it. And so what I'd like you to do now is thank God for giving you another $400,000 on the value of your property in the last few years for you doing nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right on. Yeah.
All a gift from God. It's a gift from God. And the thing about reverse mortgages is the fees are high. Okay. The fees are high. They're high. You're asking a lender to give you a large bag of money and you never make a payment on it. Now, lenders might want to have some fees for that.
Yeah.
So, but what do you care? And I show people that the fees, those are really high fees. Well, yeah, they are, but God just gave you $400,000. So, I mean, what's the big deal? And if that were, yeah, if that weren't so, Rachel, I probably wouldn't be doing it. But I want to give people as much as I can under the current strictures of mortgage lending. And I think it's a good time because guess what? Values are still high. They're starting to come down, but they're still high. And you want to do a reverse mortgage when the values are still high because then you get the best deal for yourself.
That's great. Great advice. So now, we know marketing is at the heart of every business. So how are you finding your clients?
Well, I find clients by tripping over them, basically. I have done all kinds of marketing in the past, okay? But today I'm kind of slowing down a little bit. I want to talk to people who want to talk to me, okay? And so because of that, what I do for people, and what I'll do for anybody in your audience, is if they have any questions, they can reach out to me at clark@oldmortgageguy.com, or they can call me toll free at 800-866 old R guy. 866 old R guy. I thought that was brilliant. Yeah.
Okay. And have you ever thought of doing a podcast?
Well, I've thought about it. I used to be on the radio. I had, when I was a registered investment advisor, I had 2 radio shows on 28 stations nationwide. So that was fun. But I haven't thought about podcasting because there's so many people in it. I just like to step back a little bit. I don't have to be in the limelight, anymore. Been there, done that. And
Okay.
so I just want to take care of people right now.
That's awesome. Now, okay, so outside of work, Clark, what do you like to do for fun?
Oh, because I'm an old guy, I've started volunteering places. And here in San Clemente, we have the Cabrillo Theater, which just completed a $250,000 renovation. It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. So I volunteer there to handle the concessions at intermission. And so I do that with them. And for the last 32 years at my church, I've run the video at my church for a very long time. What else do I do? Let me see here. Maybe I have a list here of the 2 or 3 things that I do. Well, that's pretty much it. I mean, I do the volunteering at church and volunteering with the Cabrillo Theater, and that's pretty much it. It's a lot of fun, and those are great shows at the Cabrillo Theater. So if anybody hasn't been there, you better go. Great.
Okay. So Clark, please tell our listeners, and you already kind of have, but let's do it again. How our listeners, one thing they should remember about Clark Wilson, the old mortgage guy.
The one thing they should remember is I will answer all of your questions. I will talk to anybody, anywhere, anytime for free. And if you call me up and you want to talk about a reverse mortgage, I only need 4 pieces of information and I can tell you what you can get in a reverse mortgage.
Okay. Well, how can our listeners learn more about the old mortgage guy? I know you've given your details, but let's do it one more time.
All right, Clark at oldmortgageguy.com, Clark at oldmortgageguy.com. You can even go to the website, and I have a lady on there who very kindly put together a little thing saying I was a nice guy. Okay, so you can see that, and there's some questions and answers there, and you can talk to me directly there as well.
Well, wonderful. Well, Clark, I really appreciate you being on the show, and I really wish you all the best moving forward.
Thank you very much, Rachel. It's been a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnporangecounty.com. That's gnporangecounty.com or call 714-941-8862.